The History of Graceland. 1864 to 1957. In 1864, Stephen C. Toof owned a piece of land in Memphis of about 500 acres. He named it after his daughter, Grace, and so the name, Graceland, was born. In 1908 Stephen's wife, Mary died, and 2 years later Stephen C. Toof himself died, and therefore their daughter, Grace, inherited the land. In 1928 Grace died, and the land was inherited by a niece of Grace named Ruth. In 1939, Ruth divided the land into 3 pieces, giving each piece of land to one of her 3 children. Ruth's daughter, also named Ruth, had a mansion built on their land with her husband, Dr. Thomas D. Moore. Dr. Thomas D. Moore was a neurologist and also a rancher, and in 1940 he became president of the Hereford Breeder Association. They called the mansion, Graceland Hereford's Farm. In 1952, Ruth and Dr. Thomas D. Moore divorced. Because it cost quite a lot of money to maintain the mansion on her own, Ruth Moore asked her daughter, Ruth Marie, and son-in-law, Charles Cobb, if they wanted the house. They refused the mansion, and it was put up for sale. On March 19, 1957, at 10 a.m., Elvis and his parents had an appointment with Virginia Grant to visit Graceland again. At the time of viewing, Graceland was a farm with about 17.8 acres of land. Elvis was also immediately impressed by Graceland, and decided to buy it. The total price for Graceland was $102,500. Elvis financed this in 3 ways, namely $10,000 in cash, $55,000 was settled with the surrender of the house on Audubon Drive, and for the remaining $37,500 Elvis took out a mortgage. The Presleys moved on May 16, 1957 to live in Graceland.